Hi everyone, Mike here. I'm the Life is Boots, Boots is Life guy, and I had previously done an unboxing video of my new Vaccari Natural Python boots. And in that video, there were a couple things I missed, so I actually want to do a follow-up video to mention those, as well as, since I've been wearing them, kind of give a review on how they feel and what they've been like. So one of the first things that I missed, or I didn't accent enough in my first video to bring up, was that I got the snip toe version of the Vaccari. This is the Oliver model, Natural Python. And this was like one of the only snip toe models that they had. And I didn't really go over it much. I sort of mentioned that I prefer snip toe, which I do, but that was about it. So this is the snip toe model, and it's called the Oliver. And what I like about it is that, even though different brands have snip toe, I've experienced different looks and shapes and sizes. And what I like about their snip toe, and I was a little like holding my breath before I got the boots because I would prefer to have seen them, but since Vaccari seems to be more of an online order boot company, I was a little unsure. But when I got them, they're like perfect. And they're not too long and pointy. And you've seen some of those videos of other boots that are really like super pointy and stuff. And these are not. They're like the perfect, I would say the perfect snip toe length and cut. And I'll put them there. So that was something I didn't really get into that much in my first video. And I have another boot here for comparison, and we'll do that in a second. But that was sort of the main, one of the key points that I missed, talking about the toe shape. Because I know there's so many different toe shapes, and everybody has their favorites or what they like or dislike, or maybe it doesn't matter at all, the toe shape. But to me, the toe shape, I prefer the snip toe, and it has that sort of Western authentic feel, a little bit of edge to it, but with a little classiness as well. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I didn't in the first video is that in the Vamp, you see a lot of videos where they're pieces of the exotic material are stitched together. Well, luckily with this model, the Vamp is all one piece. So I took a really, good close look at it, and I was, I was looking for that for the stitching, but I didn't see any, and I'm glad it's one piece. And it just seems to make it a little bit nicer. So the front Vamp is all one piece, and I like that, so you don't get that extra seam, just an aesthetic look. And also the counter, I can see where it stitches on it, where it starts and ends, but the counter is also one piece. So I think that's one of the marks of a higher quality boot, that it didn't need the stitching. But if it came with stitching, I would take it. I'm not gonna refuse it. I mean, I just think it's just a little step up that it was been able to make with one piece of the material. Gives it a cleaner look. But like I said, if this only model came with stitching, I would take it. And I've seen some other boots that I would like, and they have the stitching on it, but I like them so much it would be fine. But it's just one of the little details of boots that I think boot enthusiasts will look for or notice, whether it matters to them or not, or if it means anything to them or not. It's something they would notice. So I just wanted to bring that little detail up in case you were considering this model, the Python from Vaccari. And yeah, so I think it's really, looks really clean. The other thing I didn't really bring up was this nice natural color on the heel and on the side of the sole here. Usually they are dyed mahogany or light mahogany or black, but this light color, this natural color on the heel and on the side of the sole goes really well with the whole aesthetic of the boot being a lighter color boot. And I have worn these out a bit to break them in, and I have to admit, These are the most comfortable boots I have. And I have different brands. I have some Tecovas, I have Blackjack, Los Altos, Rio Grande, and these Vaccari are the most comfortable right out of the box. And one thing is that I like about them, they're very quiet. It's almost like you're in tennis shoes or sneakers because they are so quiet, and they're like stealth in a way. And I almost, I had to make sure, yeah, it's it's a leather sole, and it does have the lemon wood pegs, and on the outside the nails. But yeah, the lemon wood pegs are definitely there, and I actually left a sticker on just for authenticity. So yeah, I think those are two things that I really like about them. They're super comfortable. I mean, they are cushiony. They do have the cushion on the inside. It's probably a little dark, you probably can't see, but I'll probably do another video where I do close-ups. But yeah, they do have the leather insole where it's cushion, add some cushion, and that helps, I think, with the comfort in walking. And then they're, like I mentioned, they're very quiet walking. And I walked some gravel and sidewalk, cement and stuff, and pavement, and they're super quiet. And the other point I wanted to bring up was just the overall quality. After wearing these for a while, I've gotten several compliments from people I don't know, just outside, out and about, and the quality is just high. I would highly recommend this brand, and just as I've gotten closer looks after buying them and wearing them, the craftsmanship is just excellent, and also it's just high quality. They're not like falling apart. There's not like pieces of threads hanging off, or like nails like all out. They're all like in alignment. Everything's great. Everything is working really well with these single stitch and whatnot. And they actually matched my cat here, Two-Face. I kind of noticed that. She likes this color. But anyway, one of the points that I wanted to bring up was the comparison of the snip toe. And this snip toe is perfect, dead on. I would definitely get another. For comparison, I have a Blackjack. And what I loved about Blackjack is I could custom make them. I picked this is the lizard skin. I picked lizard. I picked this forest green sanded color. I picked this ranch hand mahogany colored shaft, and I picked the color for the side of the sole and the heel, this medium mahogany, and the color of the everything, basically the design, the stitches and colors, the actual design and everything. But what I did wanted to bring up in comparison is the snip toe. Once again, I ordered snip toe, and I can tell that this snip toe in the Blackjack is just a little bit narrower and pointier than the Vaccari. And Vaccari's a little bit wider in the snip toe and the point, where the Blackjack is not. Blackjack's a little bit narrower and pointier at the point. I'll see if I can put them side by side. It's probably a little hard to tell, but looking at them and having them right in front of me, I can totally tell the Blackjack is a little bit pointier. I still like it. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that even within this, ordering the same style of toe shape, I'm going to get some variation. That's why I was a little worried before I got the Vaccaris, because you never know what you're going to get, really. Even though they say they're the same toe size and shape, you can always get something a little different. Another aspect that I like about the Vaccari is they do have a seam inside the shaft, and I'll see if you might be able to see it there. There is a seam, but it's mild. I mean, it's a subtle seam. I mean, you can see it, you can sort of feel it, but compared to the Blackjack, which also has a seam, the Blackjack seam is much thicker. Like, it really protrudes more in the shaft, But you know, and some people it bothers. For me, it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't. I don't feel any discomfort in my jeans. I've heard some other people, you know, may or may not. And they have boots that have inner linings that totally cover this, like my Los Altos. They completely have an inner lining to cover the seam. But the seam is bigger in the blackjack. So if that was going to be an issue with you, that would be something to factor in. The Vaccaris have a seam, but it's really it's a very low seam. I mean, you have to look at it, and it's just very subtle when you feel it compared to the more prominent seam on the blackjack. So that's one of the differences, but that's one of the reasons why I'm leaning toward the higher quality Vaccari and recommending them. You know, if that's, if you're looking into them, this is my assessment that they've got some excellent craftsmanship and good qualities, and they match my personal interest. Like I mentioned, I like the snip toe, but I like that it's a little bit wider. And these are the same size. I get double E on both. The blackjacks just have a little bit narrower or sharper of a cut to make the point for the snip, which I'm still fine with. I like them a lot, and I like that they're unique. And I might be the only person with this specific boot, actually, because you customize everything on the blackjacks when you order them. Another thing that really interests me about the Vaccari, which I like, is the inlay. They have it's actually, this was another point I forgot to bring up. Their shaft is very intricately designed. It's not just boom, standard cutout, whatever. There are cuts for inlay, and there's like that black inlay, and then there's the outer stitching, which you can see is like a brown, these jagged edges type. Kind of standard, in general. But what you can't see is all the stitching that matches the color of the shaft. This there's a whole bunch of lines of stitching that are match the shaft. So you can't really see them. They're sort of like camouflaged, but they're there. So it's in the detail. And that's what I liked about these Vaccaris. Like at first I just saw the outer edge because they contrast more with the shaft, but when I started really looking at them, saying, wow, there's a lot more stitching, but they just match the same color. It adds to the details. So like, wow, okay, they really did do a lot of stitching, and more than I initially thought. And that was just another detail that I thought was really cool about the Vaccari. And I'm looking. I would definitely look more into Vaccari if they had more snip toe boots. I've looked at the other ones. They have some fantastic boots. They have exotics primarily, and some rough outs. But I would like to see what they offer next year, and I'm hoping there's more snip toes, because I would definitely consider them, mainly because of the quality. I mean, I'm very impressed with the quality, and like I say, they are super quiet, and there was no slipping. I remember when I got my blackjacks, when I was walking around initially, brand new. Yeah, there was some slippering. There was some slippery. I was slipping a little bit in them because of the nice polished soles. It looked really nice, but it took them a while to rough them up so they didn't slip. These didn't slip; they almost gripped, and that's what made me. I had to check, make sure. Yeah, this is leather. It's definitely a leather outsole. Has the rubber heel cap, which they normally do as well. Vaccari also has their logo imprinted on the heel cap as well. So that's another nice, neat touch design to make it more unique. The for comparison, the blackjack did not. It has the the rubber heel cap, but it's just a generic one, no branding on it at all. So just the subtle differences. Each has pros and cons, but there's a lot of pros with the Vaccari. I like how they have the C's are like horseshoes as well. Yeah, I left the sticker on, like I mentioned, just to keep it authentic. But I think that about wraps it up. I just want to do this quick follow-up video just to kind of go over how They feel and super comfortable, super comfortable. And I've gotten a bunch of compliments. They've been holding up, they're not like falling apart after a couple wears. And they just look great. I think they look great. And there's more, the more you look at them after you initially bought them and started to wear them, then I've started noticing, oh, there's more detail in them. And that just made the quality factor just, go up. I was like, more impressed with them now. So we'll look to see if Vaccari continues next year with new lines of boots or new stock and new inventory. But until then, just wanted to go over this. And thanks for watching. Remember, life is boots. Boots is life.